Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new playthrough as requested by Soy Sauce Asian Chaos Child. And I'll let you know now, all I know about it is that it's a visual novel. I have no idea what I'm in for with this game. I haven't even started it up yet. We're going into this together. So yeah, we'll see what it's all about. It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. Yeah. In the meantime, hello everyone. Welcome to 556, Just a Guy, Cat, Evie, Boo Scary Helicopter, Soulcaster, Rob Harley, Smash Matt, Soy Sauce Asian, naturally. Let's see, Egg Roll, Cabal, Soul Reaper Frost, Lass of Gloucester, Devstets, Oscar, Chris Struck. Thank you all so much for being here. Sonic Joe, Wootmaster. Glad to have you all here. We'll check on the sound levels and everything once we get into the game itself. Yeah. And for those wondering, since I posted it to the chat before we started, new song for the month, but I went obscure this time because what the heck represents March? It's too early for spring, but there's not really like anything that really clicks with it. That is from Lunar Silver Star Story. Game I've always wanted to get to. I have it on PS1, but I've always wanted to get to it. I have a hair sticking in between my glasses here that is driving me nuts. And now I can't see. Sorry, technical difficulties with the glasses, but either way, yeah. What are we in for? Oh, Soy Sauce with the redemption. Highlight message saying, hello, first of all, I'd like to say I'm thrilled and thankful for you getting around to playing this. Chaos Child is a supernatural murder mystery set in the same universe and series as Steins Gate. The first entry in the series, Chaos Head from 2008, never actually released outside of Japan until late 2022, but not to worry since almost every entry in the series tells a standalone story and characters despite taking place in the same universe, akin to earlier films of the MCU. Okay. And yeah, this is, I looked it up and this is roughly a 30-hour game, so it should be about a 10-stream game. So we'll see what we're in for. Smash Matt, thank you very much for the 100 bits, saying I'm resting from a weekend at a local anime convention I went to. Fun times, good panels, and even found someone in the artist alley to commission an art piece. I had them draw Peppino from Pizza Tower. Turned out awesome. Well, that's really cool to see. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's see what we're in for. Chaos Child. All right, and we'll adjust the volume and all that once we're actually into it. All right, I'm used to that from Persona. That makes sense. Mages. I am not familiar with that developer. I'll be honest, I know next to nothing about Steins Gate. Actually, I know nothing about Steins Gate. Welcome to Chaos World. Ah, crap. Well, we went from a game about law and chaos to a game just about chaos. I hear crying babies vainly. If you are God and the delusion becomes reality, about what kind of noids you get? Is it the sensual world, the despotic society, the destructive sanctions, or ... Okay. Alright. How is the sound levels on that? Oh wow, Mages is actually the same devs as the Famicom Detective Club remakes. That's awesome. I've always wanted to check them out. All right, sounds good so far. We'll keep an eye. Whoa. Okay, well, let's get our opening movie, I guess. I don't know if it plays again when we actually start the game, but sure. Yeah, what kind of the noids do you get? Weird. A lot of pictures. I have no idea if this is a song that would get... oh, skip the opening since it's spoilery stuff. Okay. Alright, let's check out config just to see if there's anything we need to worry about. Well, that's... We'll up the message speed a little bit. Oh wow, you can actually change how loud or soft each character's voice is. That's funny. Alright, that all looks fine. Alright. Let's see what we get. New game. November 6, 2009 AD, 10:28 p.m. It came without warning. I doubt this is dubbed. Oh. Are we getting Akira in here? Oh, geez. Well, that's not good. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake with an epicenter directly under the city. How did an earthquake take out a helicopter? I'm not sure that was an earthquake. This disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas to nothing in a single night. No, not the 109 building. The high-rise buildings that had birthed so many trends and fads collapsed, as if giving up on their role in society. Black fires spread through the city. As individuals fell into the grip of the crowd's psychology, their terror was magnified. Combined, all of these things took many lives. There you are, Emily. The final death toll was 3,851. The final number of injured, 30,927. This event would later be known as the Shibuya earthquake. I recognize some of these places thanks to The World Ends With You and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Even in all that destruction, people still suffered the most in their hearts. Some who had lost their families came together to share new resolve, while others who'd been forced to watch their friends die were driven by guilt to take their own lives. Jeez. As a baby was miraculously reunited with its parents after 72 hours, a child in an evacuation shelter asked her dad, "When's Mummy coming home?" He had no answer. Some of the wounded made it to hospitals by looking at real-time updates on the web. Others saw people on the internet talking about the disaster as if it were a movie and were driven mad. A homeless man was saved from malnutrition by an organized volunteer group, but at the same time, a middle school boy punched a self-centered volunteer who'd come to Shibuya to find himself in the face. It was the first time in that boy's life he'd ever been violent. We got the two sides, everybody. Nope, Soulcaster, I have not got around to beating Neo. So, yeah. The psychological toll was incredible, and many of the survivors would later manifest symptoms similar to those associated with PTSD. The young were hit the hardest, and before long, the cause of those symptoms was given a name: Chaos Child Syndrome. We got a name drop already! Rebuilding happened at a feverish pitch never seen before. It felt inappropriate to say hang in there, but people felt that somebody had to do something. The new slogan was Shibuya, a city reborn, and no amount of money or manpower was spared in aiding the endeavor. Now I'm thinking of Final Fantasy Realm Reborn. The whole town was in the grip of a fever. In private, a leader of the redevelopment efforts said, "This may sound unkind, but this frenzy feels like a town burying its grief by holding a festival." Building codes were rigorously evaluated with an eye toward earthquake engineering. Perhaps in an effort to emphasize the city's safety, security cameras were put up all over the town. Shibuya would become a place where everyone could live in peace. But at the same time, a rumor began to spread about the earthquake. Something about this earthquake doesn't make sense. There were no aftershocks, and the damage had spread in a strange way. Harajuku and Ebisu, areas known only a kilometer away from Shibuya, suffered few casualties and even fewer collapsed buildings. This damage pattern had never been observed in any prior earthquake, and so more than a few pundits claimed that the Shibuya earthquake must have been artificial. More than anything, some of the survivors all said the same things. I saw a white light. I heard a sound like a ringing in my ears. Too many people experienced this for anyone to laugh it off, but no cause of those phenomena was ever found. It was just more evidence to those who believed that something about the earthquake had been wrong. Oh, no worries, everyone. So Soy Sauce says this earthquake is covering the aftermath and the introduction scene and the climax. Of course, I'm already on low battery. I thought I had charged this, but I guess not. That's all right. We're good. So the earthquake is covering the aftermath of the introduction scene and the climax of Chaos Head. While the stories aren't directly related, any connections like these do a good job of giving you context you need. Okay. All right. Then, 6 years after the strange earthquake in 2015, something else was about to attract attention in the reborn city of Shibuya. It's always fun to see what they'll do with the 109 building. How they'll change it to be almost it, but not quite. September 7th, 2015, Sunday night.
はい。ではいつも通り3分くらい募集をかけるんで適当によろです。
Actually, should I turn the voice acting off? Is there a way for me to do that quick? Because it'll be really distracting to have the Japanese come out and then me actually read it out. Can I just hit start? There we go. We'll just turn it down really low. Whoops. All right. Okay, I'm going to take 3 minutes for questions. Get to it. The second he spoke, the comment box started to fill. Yuma Otani watched it for a few seconds and then saw the request, "When does Haru tell us she's dating somebody?" He smiled to himself. Just what he wanted. Most of the requests were about hot actors or cute idols. His audience was so stupid that it was easy to tell exactly what they were going to ask. The problem was always whether the name that came up was someone he knew. That was a question of luck and how popular they were. But Haru, her full name was Haruko or something or other, she was fine. Just a few days ago, he'd forced himself to go to an event he'd rather have skipped and seen it for himself.
Yes.
Okay. Satisfied, Utani got up to get some snacks like he always did. He lived in a one-bedroom condo located 8 minutes from Shibuya Station. Cost 150,000 yen per month. See, that's $1,500 a month. Jeez. It had been built after the earthquake, so the furnishings and layout were modern. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he lived in last year, it was heaven. Holy crap! Wait. I think I misread the previous one. I guess it was $150. Cloud Strider, GVG as a whole is not going to PAX East. I think it's only Ash, I think, is the only one that's going to be going to PAX East. Next year, maybe I'll move somewhere more convenient. At 21 years old, Utani felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he'd gotten big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he'd stopped leaving his room altogether. Then, he'd gotten addicted to drugs that made him sleepy, but did nothing else. Once, seeing only darkness in his future, he'd planned to commit suicide. In the chaos after the earthquake 6 years ago, he'd finally managed to leave his room, but his family had already given up on him. After he failed his entrance exams, he went to live on his own in Shibuya, and he hadn't spoken to his parents since. As far as they knew, he'd failed the exams 3 times in a row. In fact, he hadn't even gone to the test after the first time. There wasn't anything he wanted to learn in college or any companies he wanted to work for badly enough. He had no goal in life at all. But things were different now. Maybe At-chan does tell the truth sometimes. Guess I'll have some cheese. Is there a way for me to easily check like get those? Huh. I was just seeing if there's a way for me to, like, obviously those things are highlighted and stuff is coming above, so it's like is there a way for me to access that? He took a block of cheap cheese he'd bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Oh, it's tip list? Thank you. Alright. At channel, a huge anonymous message board that's the largest of its kind in Japan. Its catchphrase is everything from hacking to tonight's dinner, and its boards contain comments on every topic imaginable. As of 2015, half of the users in their late 20s to early 40s, and the age of the average user goes up to every year. The primary reason for this is believed to be that younger users switching to social networks. Haruko Natsuno, 19 years old, a minor celebrity, became famous as a result of her bold declaration that no one her age knew as much about retro games and retro anime as she did, and her ability to back that declaration up on internet radio and live streaming programs. Wears glasses, her plain clothes and hairstyle are said to be one reason she's popular with otaku. Regularly holds recordings of internet radio shows that are open to the public. And yeah, we know what PTSD is. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we need crackers. Usually he never ate anything this cheap. But on Nico Nia live streaming, it wasn't just what you said, it's how you looked when you said it also mattered. Utani wasn't a good-looking man, let alone a cute girl. He was just a plain old guy, and so to keep his program popular, he needed to make them think that he was poor, barely managing to scrape by, in fact. That's why he kept the area around his PC and the parts of his apartment that you could see with his webcam completely plain. Last month, he'd finally reached his goal of 4,000 viewers. For a man with nothing going for him like Utani, this was extremely unusual. 3 months ago, he'd guessed the winners of a popularity contest for a certain idol group that was holding, as well as their total number of votes. That must have really paid off. After that, his numbers had been going up steadily. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nico Nia's page, he'd seen a huge increase. Right now, he'd gotten above 4,500, and it was quite possible he'd break 5,000 by the end of the month. That's really good, actually. Chris Struck says, according to Google, 150,000 yen is roughly equivalent to $1,100. I see. It was around late last year when he'd started to wonder about his power. It was a certain rumor on one of At-chan's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. The name he'd chosen for his stream subtly reflected this. Then I learned that I can see the future. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. There was a strange sound. I feel like I'm reading you guys a book. He thought he'd just imagine it when... Knock, 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 knock. He heard it again. It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door. Huh? Jungle, maybe? Suspicious, he walked towards the door to answer, then checked the clock. Okay, what the heck's jungle? An American online shopping site that is... Oh my god, it's... They're equivalent... Okay, so we got... So we got our Amazon equivalent. We have our Nico Nico equivalent. And again, Nico Nico. So yeah. That's funny. Suspicious, he walked toward the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Not exactly normal delivery hours. Oh, come on. I'm streaming right now. He tried to ignore it. I feel like I'm in a weird loop where it's like I'm doing a stream about a guy doing a stream. And honestly, I got to say, I feel like this guy's going to get murdered. But... the knocking continued. It was the same rhythm at the same pace. As if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but simply to make that sound. Utani felt a bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera and see who it was, but then realized that would be pointless. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had a camera. The door to Utani's room on the 5th floor had an intercom, but no camera. Utani gave up. Damn it. If you want something, push the intercom button. Knock, 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 knock. Oh, Amy's doing well, Cat Evie. She's just visiting her sister right now. She'll be back tomorrow. Maybe it's a drunk? No, the knocks were too steady for that. And there was no voice yelling at him to open up. I'd be creeped out. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow, this made the door seem intimidating. Utani thought he might look through the peephole to see who was outside. He was then disgusted to find himself too scared to even get close to the door. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. He turned toward the living room so he could use the intercom and find out what they wanted. Utani, it's me. Sorry to come by so suddenly. He stopped when he heard that voice. It's me. I'm very sorry to bother you at this hour. Utani tried to remember who the speaker was, but found he couldn't. But from the tone of the voice and the words, they probably weren't a weirdo. When they said, "I'm sorry," it sounded like they really meant it. Utani sighed softly with relief, then realized he was still carrying the knife he'd been using to cut cheese. It suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He quickly laid the knife on top of the sink. Right, I'll open it now. Who is it? It's me, don't you remember? The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Utani whispered to himself as he opened the door. This is actually kind of creepy. This is a good build-up. Utani narrowed his eyebrows at the people standing there. Oh, people. Oh, God. He looked them up and down, and then looked at their faces again. Their eyes met. Who are you? Who are you guys? Utani suddenly felt a piercing headache. Utani closed his eyes and put his right hand up to his temple. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put his other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like the old days when he'd overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. Ugh. He grit his teeth again against the pain, I guess, and dug his nails into the wall that was holding him up. As he waited for the pain in his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind, Mr. Utani, are you okay? He heard a voice he'd heard many times before and felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him. Yeah, I'm fine. This just happens sometimes. Lately. Overwork, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard. You're always such a worrier. I'm fine. Come in. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he let his important guests inside. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them. Or maybe not. It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they last met. The hell is going on? It only felt long because he'd wanted to see them so badly. Oh, right. It was nice of you to come by, but I'm streaming. While he was out here, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Oh, don't worry about us. No. I can't do that. No, I can't do that to you guys. Why is his dialogue so slow? What's wrong? No, it's nothing. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no, I know exactly what's going on here. Oh, God. He cut into its surface, and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go further. Oh, God. Oh, my hand. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. This isn't funny, Richter. Jeskerica, thank you so much for that tier 1 subscription. 13 months now saying, hey everyone, hope all is well. I marathoned through Metroid Prime Remastered this past week, and it still remains one of my favorite games of all time. I realized I got my work cut out for me in my backlog as I'm currently going through Persona 5 Royal, then we have Tears of the Kingdom in 2 months, and I also want to play Xenoblade 3 this year on top of Bayo 3, which I'm also going through. The Link's Awakening remake, Hyper Light Drifter, Azure Striker Gunfall series, wish me luck. Yeah, I feel that. But thank you so much, Jeskerica. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. Damn it! What's going on with this thing? Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. Oh, God! But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through it. Oh. God damn it. Okay, we gotta fix his voice. What is going on with that? Why is he... God damn it. I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting this thing. Oh, God. Oh, God! They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Utani, their voices slightly low. Utani realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up on the streaming microphone and lowered his voice as well. Yeah. He grinned and nodded. His guest had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers. This job's all about predicting trends, so it's perfect for me. I can't lose. Then why do these streams? It's hard to say. I guess you could say I'm trying to see how far I can go. That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do. No one's done this before, so I can't ask anybody about it, you know? So I want to do everything I can by myself. Or am I sounding like a show-off? No, it's wonderful, I think. And done. After he smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. Oh, God. I do want to pick up Metroid Prime Remastered. I just haven't had a chance yet. Whew. Plus, I've been playing a lot of Theater Rhythm. Sorry to make you help like that. It's nothing. Go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished. Thanks. If you want something from the fridge, grab it. Oh, but be quiet. Well, it looks like cheese. Utani took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late," and "Did he log off?" What should have only been 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. Utani put a bite of the cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly. I have never been so nervous about cheese before. So sorry, I bought this cheese on sale and it's just so incredibly hard. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being poor and starving. As he hoped, the comments started coming in. I heard you have new hobbies. This is weird. What did this broadcast went into? What happened? I'm very worried. This is making me sick. This is why nobody likes Nico Neo. I can't read the comments or watch this. What's that thing we just had pop up? That is totally like Nico Nico. Net slang, a Japanese counterpart of the English LOL, short for warai, which means laughter. Oh, I didn't know that. It said to find its... That's why all those WWWs always show up in Nico Nico streams. It's said to find its origin in a certain non-Japanese online game which only allowed for the use of the English alphabet. By putting W's in the middle of or at the end of a phrase, a user can indicate that they're laughing, often used on @Chan and Nico Neo, and often used to indicate mocking or derisive laughter. Miyashiro believes a person's use of the W is a sign that they are of low intelligence, and he refuses to use it himself. Ouch. Utani's face took on a confused expression. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake, poor room. Is something wrong? He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out toward it. Oh, God. In an instant, his headache was back. Ugh. It was the same pain as before. No, worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad that he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason, his right hand wouldn't move. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen, and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. Oh, God. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. Oh, God! He gasped. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of awful magic trick. What's going on? so creepy. This feels fake. Oh god. He suddenly heard the sound of something wet dripping onto the floor. His eyes reflexively turned towards it. His right arm was gone at... Oh my god. His right arm was gone at the elbow and the stump was gushing blood. At the elbow! My god! There was a pool of it on the floor and the sound he heard was the new blood splattering into it. Huh? Utani didn't understand what had happened to him. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in what remained of his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping to the floor. Yeah, this definitely got dark quick, Soulcaster. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. It was sitting on a plate. At first, it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. Are they going to show it? It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate in, roughly, his arm's original shape. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm. But sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. He saw something solid in the middle of it. It was a thumb. Oh god, he ate his own thumb. He was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly, he remembered it. What? When did he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Yeah, I know. I've played horror games before, and this is so much wilder than most of anything we've seen before. My god. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned toward the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. As the whole world turned red, Utani didn't even realize that his lips were turning purple. His lips had turned purple from lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from his severed thumb, which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious, and tears fell from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. Utani was weeping blood. He died, still facing the camera. Whew! Wow. So, I guess this is our moment to say, if this is not your thing, forewarned. His guests watched the chain of events unfold, and then silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room, goodbye, they said as if nothing at all was wrong, and shut the door. Okay, what kind of mind-bending stuff are they doing? Did they do this poor guy? Talk about desperate to get followers. I'm bored, go back to the usual stream. Yeesh. Well, that was a hell of an opening. September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Whew. Momone Takayanagi had finished her concert. Like always, she'd stay behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all of that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before her solo street concert, but she still had to help anyway. She'd always been like that. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. Okay, until we meet our main character, I feel like everybody we're encountering is going to die. That's what I'm predicting right now, because my God. It was like in middle school when one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked her for test notes. Or in high school when a girl she knew asked her how to make Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. She stayed up so many nights her own test grades were worse than her friends, and she didn't even have anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. Really self-sacrificing. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers. But basically, I'm just a huge wuss. Momone Takayanagi was, at heart, scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. The concert today was another big success. Sure, it was a tiny room that could only fit 150 people or so, standing room only, but tickets were 3,000 yen, high for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, and they still sold out instantly. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the ballad, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. This is impossible. She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. They'd started out in the Nikoniya Sang It category and kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. Category tag. Uploaders sing songs. There are many different types of Sang It songs. Original, covers, songs with lyrics added to what was originally instrumental. Relations with the Vocaloid gender has helped it expand in popularity with the younger generation to the point where there are now even books and events dedicated to the genre. In 2015, it was one of the most popular genres on Nikoniya, and many people have turned pro after uploading a Sang It video. Okay. I mean, I'm definitely one to have cut my finger on that on things, so yeah. I get it too, guys. Thankfully, I've gotten smarter about my cutting when cooking since then. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. Videos of their concerts and performances pulled a decent number of views online. But Takayanagi noticed. The vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try and feel it again. And Takayanagi knew that they probably wouldn't feel even 1% of it. It's just impossible. The ticket prices and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. There has to be something wrong with my voice. When she first realized that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing their live shows where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let it happen. Your voice is amazing, they would tell her. They first forced her to keep singing, even as the concerts began to terrify her. Okay, so something's going on with people that start getting followings online, it seems like. Takayanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end, she kept giving in. She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain doll girl like her into music. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. But in the end, Takayanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage needed to break out of the cycle. She forced herself to get up and head toward the street concert, which she didn't really want to do. Huh? she received an email. She read it slowly. No way. She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. It was nothing special, just a simple message about one of the songs she'd made. Good song. Keep it up. No way. Takiyanagi tried to stop the tears, but couldn't. The band would get too many messages like this to count, especially after concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. But this email address wasn't for her band. It was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded original songs. In other words, whoever sent this message hadn't come to her concerts. They'd never heard her voice live or felt its strange power. But they had still said that they liked her song. Really? Wiping away tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. That makes me really happy. Thank you. Even after she sent it, she kept crying for a while. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. And then she stood up. Stupid things. She took her costume for the day's concert out of her bag, balled them up, and threw them in the trash. It was a white caped outfit worn by some angel character in some anime. Certain fans really loved it, but she didn't care about it at all. She took a wet towel off a nearby table and violently wiped away her makeup. I think I'm okay with being a scarecrow. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup to look like an anime character again. Never, she said aloud. She realized she was more excited than she'd ever been before. And then she started to realize what she wanted to do. I guess I could just leave Shibuya. I'm sure things are going to get messy here. What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It caused trouble for a lot of people, definitely. Her band was scheduled to play at the Restoration Festival. But even so, she never wanted to sing at another concert. Does this have... I have no idea if this has an anime. I know Steins Gate has an anime, but I don't know anything what it's about. I shouldn't use the street where I've done shows or my fans will see me. Wait, I'll be fine with this face. She laughed and kissed her smartphone. Oh wow, this is so much fun. She couldn't wait to get home and start fiddling with her music. Over the web, she could really share her music with others. As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. If she just played a recording from a speaker, for example. I've got a small speaker in my house, don't I? That's right. She'd leave Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at a street concert. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes to fool people. It would be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she'd re-record it at home. Oh, God. There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe? Oh, geez, I'm coming. She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd ever imagined it would be. That lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. It also seems that what's the way? They have some sort of ability that's not properly explained. Okay, Steins Gate is a 20-ish hour game with a 24-episode anime, whereas this is a 40-ish hour game with a 12-episode anime. Jeez. Oh, Loyal Dingo's enjoying this? Okay, cool. Knock, 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 knock.
Hi.
Coming! Takiyanagi happily danced toward the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. September 19th, 2015, Friday night. I think that's oh yeah, here we go. Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp and dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Oh God. Her bangs were unnaturally long. Most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark-colored dress that seemed to melt into the night, and above it, a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms, and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that the night was still warm, she wore gloves, as if it were a sin to show any skin at all. Oh, sorry. She ran into a couple coming out of a hotel and staggered slightly. But she didn't even look at the people she ran into. She looked down and disappeared into the streets of Shibuya. What was that? Man, talk about creepy. Hey, did you see her face? Huh? Why? It was so weird. What was that? Those eyes were so weird. God, what are we in for? Digital native. Our first chapter. Okay. So that was our prologue. She didn't die, but something happened to her. Unless we're still focusing on her. For example, let's say you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say yes, or I've heard of it. Well, start by eliminating the DQNs who say they never heard of it. We'll start by eliminating the DQNs who say they've never heard of it. What the hell is a DQN? Japanese net slang, pronounced dokyun, used to refer to people who are stupid, antisocial, or delinquents. Okay. We're getting a lot of Japanese net slang on this. Next you ask, well, what was it? What is it? Next we eliminate those poor fools who say, it's something about a cat in a box, right? Or there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? Or maybe they say, there's a cat in a box, and next to it there's a device that may or may not give off poison gas. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead until you open the box. Everybody knows that. We can eliminate these show-offs as well. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. My God, that's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be for a wrong-sider. Someone on the wrong side of the digital or information divide. The term wrong-sider originally referred to those who, for various reasons, found it difficult to use information and communications technology like the internet. Lately, however, it's come to refer also to people who can't properly use the information they have, or who are simply ignorant. On internet message boards, the term is often used to refer to people whose understanding is incorrect, or whose information is out of date. Miyashiro uses this term in the latter sense of the word, not its original meaning. Okay. Hey, Jeremy1223, thank you so much for the first time chat. Saying, don't know if you saw, but DBZ Budokai Tenkaichi 4 was announced today. I did see that. That's really cool. I did not expect that series to come back at all. Oh wow, Horizon Brave, only one episode left of Last of Us this season. That's crazy. It sounds from from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like this season got through the entirety of the first game, so they're taking their time. The right answer would be to describe the experiment and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that state collapse only occurs after human observation. But barely anyone can do that. And I'd imagine that I'm the only guy who's still in high school who knows that Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. I hate wrong-siders. I take a break from investigating the two incidents that occurred recently in Shibuya, I'd taken a break from investigating and was paging through some @channel blog aggregators for a change of pace. As always, articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting tons of hits. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had just happened this month, was already off the front pages. Largest solar storm in recorded history struck Earth, causing electronics failures worldwide. The damage to infrastructures and the panic that resulted in some areas, particularly in North America, became known as the Crash of 15. A large hole opened in the Earth's electromagnetic shield, leaving Earth defenseless against the solar flare. Since absolutely no precautions were taken beforehand, the powerful electric current damaged electronics and high-voltage transformers, shutting down the electrical grid. The reconstruction project in Shibuya had only just finished its redesign of the city's infrastructure, and while Japan suffered relatively little damage, Shibuya in particular suffered almost none. Okay then. I mean, you read for how long and it just, yeah. At some point I need to watch The Last of Us show. I mean, I haven't even played the second game yet, so I'm way behind on that stuff. Excuse me. Did the people reading and commenting on these sites realize that everything they read about corporations and idols was carefully controlled? Did they know that most of the big aggregator sites are corporations too? We got a conspiracy theorist. Did they realize that the comments were all manipulated to go one direction or another? Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right at your fingertips. To those of us in the enlightened generation, ignorance was the worst sin. People born in the 1990s. Dang it! It's after my time. Members of this generation are said to not want things that they don't need and to act logically rather than putting forth unneeded effort. It's said that one cause of this is that the internet was widely available by the time they were old enough to use it, which exposed them to information about society and reality at an earlier point and a deeper level than generations before them. Okay. Oh yeah, he definitely seems like an ass, Lass Gloucester. Oh, that's why I have water nearby, Cat Evie. The ignorant were self-righteous, easily manipulated, and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. They were nothing but a nuisance. The worst of the lot were the so-called otaku. I couldn't stand otaku. They were wrong-siders. Hey, new type. Take the picture on the cover of this magazine. It was from Bloodtoon. Is that the anime or the magazine? Bloodtoon the animation. Originally a manga that was turned into an anime. 26 episodes in all. Short manga. Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. There was no point in watching the show if you were going to ignore its deeper themes. I couldn't stand people who still held to the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watched anime. But people who ignored a show's themes and just watched it for the cuteness were even worse. Oh boy! This guy is just... yeah. Soy Sauce saying, welcome to Psy ADV protagonists. They start out as kind of massive assholes and then with a stick up their buns. Okay. Seems like I got about half the game so far. I've only seen up through episode 7. Haven't seen episode 8 that came out tonight. I'll usually watch it after Monday Night Raw. Okay. That's cool. I mean, you should watch the themes. He's not exactly wrong, but... They were ignoring the implicit social criticism hidden in... Knock. What? I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode previews. The text said that Aaron was missing. Full name, Aaron Frey Orgel, a 10-year-old female character who appears in Bloodtoon the animation. She speaks in a haughty, archaic manner and always looks down on others. The younger sister of Sarah Orgel, the main heroine, and also a princess of Star. Her catchphrase is insolent fool. She has a deadly magical stick named Ochimushu Compiler. Okay. Idiots! Damn it, I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who wrote the original manga. The original author doesn't know anything about his own work. Oh god, one of these. How could you remove Aaron from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant bringing all the internal drama that had built up so far to a halt. God damn it. So much for my change of pace. I knew I had work to do on the case, but I'd put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. I thought for a moment, then took my magazine from its secret stash. Cool Cat Press. It was an issue of an older magazine called Cool Cat Press. I mean... It's the original author. If the original author is doing this sort of thing, come on. A young men's magazine founded in 1979, a so-called dating manual. It contained large amounts of information about how to seduce women, popular fashions, and the ideal spots for first kisses, all of which was of dubious accuracy. It was very popular between the late 80s and early 90s, but circulation gradually declined, and in 2004 the magazine shut down. You can still find it in the magazine corners of used bookstores. Okay, why does this guy have dating advice? People called it a dating guide for normals written by someone who never dated a girl in his life, but you'd be surprised. Magic words to make any girl fall in love with you. Stupid. I knew it was stupid. But it was my kind of stupid. When I ran an internet search for their #1 phrase, nothing came back. And that was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up on the internet meant, to me, that it was worth something. I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but... may I fall in love with you? With who? That sound. What are you doing? We are officially past the murder at this point. At least this. We got a character. We are officially in visual novel territory. Onoe, when did you get here? I hid my favorite magazine behind my back and tried to calm my racing heart. Even if we've known each other since we were kids, don't just come in like that. I got the childhood friend. Man, she's gotten close. I did knock. So what's that magazine? Anything interesting? It's nothing. I couldn't let her find out. This was bad. What's going on? Why are you wearing your school uniform? Didn't you go home? Sarika frowned. You're the one who told me to go investigate the crime scenes for our club today. Huh, that's right. Here you go. More pictures from the crime scenes. How the heck did she get access to that? Ooh, 16 gigabytes. Fancy. Sarika took a USB memory stick out of her purse. Oh, thanks. Could you transfer it to my computer for me while you're at it? Sarika looked a little confused. That's rare. You never let anyone touch your computer. There we go. I can hit the button again and not actually skip it. That's good. Not really. They were allowed. She didn't seem to think much of it as she started to copy the data off. Okay, now's my chance. The RV was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make tea as I tried to find room on the top shelf. Okay, there's just enough room for one magazine. And then I heard a pashoo sound like a small fart from behind me. What the heck? I glanced back and saw that Sarika was using the mouse with one hand and fiddling with her Garo Froggy Garoro strap with the other. This was my chance. The Garo Froggy Garoro strap was a soft vinyl cell phone strap I'd won in a candy contest when I was a kid. When you pushed its belly, it was supposed to go Garoro Garo. That's just it's just like Croak Froggy Croak Croak or something like that is its name. It turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at an auction, but since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Sarika as a present. Sarika seemed to really like it, and ever since then she'd carried it with her. Which, well, that was fine, but... It was old and faded, and when you pressed its belly, air leaked out of its side and made a weird noise. It used to go Guerrero Guerrero, I think, but now it just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Now was my chance to hide it. I jammed the magazine onto the shelf and moved some things so she couldn't see it. What was that sound? That was a weird sound. Want a mountain view? A mountain view. Oh my god, these names. Nah, don't waste it. I'm leaving in a second anyway. Okay, all done. I gotta read these. So Japanese. Internet escape rather than explorer. Hachi base. After action as for After Effects and photo store element instead of Photoshop. That's amazing. There were quite a few files on the screen. God, that old PC. You took a lot of pictures. Any luck? I didn't see anything new. What about you, Taku? Find anything new that connects the two cases? No. I shook my head, frustrated. Oh, I see. Well, let's not get frustrated yet. I'll see you in the club room tomorrow. Just as she was about to leave, I got an idea. Oh, Onoe. I needed to double check my information. She was, in theory, a girl. I'm just asking, but... Huh? Well, let's say someone asked you out. Huh? Just hypothetically, okay? What would you think if they said, I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you? Is that what you were just saying? Never mind that. What do you think? Sarika thought for a second. Is this person younger than me? What the hell? Oh! Oh, right, I did hear that there was multi-choice stuff in here. Okay, and thank you. Okay, soy sauce with some info here. Every Psy ADV protagonist has a signature drink. Steins Gate's protag loves DK Pepper, and Robotics Notes protag loves Skull. And then with the highlighted message saying, this is the main form of interactivity in Chaos Child, the delusion trigger system. When the blue and red appear on screen, you can press the corresponding trigger to select a positive or negative delusion. Positive delusions are fan servicey. I'd recommend you skip these since some are quite questionable, while negative delusions are horrific. Oh, wonderful! They're used to unlock character roots after reaching the first ending, which are all required to unlock the true ending. Okay, I will say this right now, Soy Sauce, we're probably not going to go for the true ending. We're just going to go for one ending. Like, I imagine like the other endings are something else. So we either get fan service or horrific. The hell? That's an interesting set of choices. How long do you think it takes to get one ending and like get the other endings? Well, we're just going to go into it. I'm going to treat this like I did in SMT4. I'm just going to go with my gut. Huh? Since they're being so polite. Anything else? Like, oh, how romantic? Did I? Not really. That would depend on the person, right? Is the selection up yet? Is there a button I push for it, or is it going to come up eventually? I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Boss Vodix. I think there's a button. You can press the trigger at any time or keep the dialogue going to skip it. I tried L1, and that didn't do the trick. Let me see if there's a help. Oh, wow. And literal, Okay. Advanced, show backlog. Auto mode. Cancel high tech. Okay, it's L1. I force skipped it. That's by accident. Okay. So ZL is our thing. Okay. Good to know. So, Zacian, Wario World is not after this game. It's after, it's the Monday night streams. So we got that. You're looking for the tomorrow's stream, finishing up Gravity Rush, and then getting into Outer Wilds. I was blanking it on it. All right, let's see. We're gonna try these out and just see what happens when we're positive. Yeah, just getting one ending would be fine. What the hell? Grr? What's going on here, cool cat? It would depend on the person asking the question. Of course it would. What the hell? But if it were you, Taku, maybe I'd think about it? Serika's whisper was so soft I could barely hear it. This seems like a pretty innocent... We'll try one with the first option and then try the other with the other option and see what we get to. But apparently in order to unlock character roots. Okay. All right, whatever. What did you just say? Oh, nothing. No, I didn't hear that wrong. Was Cool Cat right after all? No, wait. It's Serika we're talking about here. Is that possible? Usually when you've known someone since you were little, you're so close you don't realize when they're attracted to you. Do you like me? Man, we're getting into this quick. Boss Vidix. Thank you so much for your first time chat, by the way. Say I played this for a little bit. It's interesting. I liked it, but I put it down after a while. Yeah, we're going through it. We'll see what we're all about. What about you, Taku? Huh? What about... I mean, just hypothetically. Do you like me? She was trying to hide the fact that she was blushing, but she was staring straight at me as she waited for an answer. They just got right into the romance stuff. Oh, after every delusion trigger, the game quick saves so you can reload them if you want to hop back in and make the other choice, or progress the dialogue like normal. Okay. Was she serious? From the look of things, she was definitely serious. Really? Serika liked me? I suddenly started to see her not as a childhood friend, but as a member of the opposite sex. Man, the tonal shift of this game just went wild. Dating her might not be so bad. We both knew everything about each other. But what was I supposed to do at a time like this? Was there anything about this in Cool Cat Press? That's right, there was a hint in the January 24th, 1999 edition from a column called Everything You Wanted to Know About Seducing Your Childhood Friend But Were Afraid to Ask. My God. It was, how would you like your childhood friend to say they loved you? Softly in a love letter from 5 people. And an embarrassing text message of 17 people. And number 1 answer, work up the courage and kiss me now, 128 people. What the hell? Work up the courage and kiss me now. Oh, no way. No, Serika. Huh? I got close to Serika and softly put my hands on her shoulders. Our faces were right next to one another. Serika was beet red, but she didn't look away from me. Taku? I'm a kind man. I'll take good care of you. What the hell? No, Taku, it's all too sudden. I mean... Serika's lips were quivering. We just went into a very different game. I want your lips. Okay. Serika closed her eyes. Oh, Serika, oh no way, my beloved. Why did I not notice your beauty sooner when you were next to me all this time? I know this is extraordinarily selfish of me, but may I fall in love with you. Wow. No, I've already fallen in love with you. Taku, kiss me, steal my lips away. Man, delusion is right. She whispered in a quavering voice, and I couldn't control myself any longer. Oh my god. Give me 500 yen. Yes! I love it. Huh? Huh? She wanted 500 yen for a kiss? Just 500 yen? Huh? No, wait. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself. This is just a simulation. This isn't what would happen in real life. It couldn't. Serika wasn't that type of girl. I took a deep breath to calm my heart. 500 yen? What are you talking about? Here. I forgot. She showed me the paper bag she was holding. Yeah, both sides of delusions are extreme. Some might even say chaos. Alright. So, for the future, are we at the point where we'd come out on the other side, soy sauce? Because I will reload that so we can take a look and see what the heck the delusion, the other delusion would be. Okay, so we're going to quick load because I gotta see what's on the other side of this thing so we can all have context. Because at this point, after this point, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Boss Vodix, thank you so much for that follow. Would it be possible to have a message or a sign in to your stream whenever we got M-rated games? Sort of like how movies do, just to give heads up to people? How do we do that, Faf? How would I do that? Do you know? Because we are definitely going through some, between this and Danganronpa, we're getting into some stuff. Can Sticky a comment? So I would just write a comment and pop it in. Let me see. Persona 5 does have Mara, but Mara isn't exactly something you always come across. This is also a bit more intense. Let's see. Zodrix, wow, hi. I never thought I'd see you of all people play this. It was a request. I have no idea what Wait a second. Serica just said it would depend on the person. Serica and I have known each other for a long time. We'd been friends since we were little, and we still spend a lot of time with each other, which means there's a good chance that she likes me. In other words, if I went for it, could I at least get a kiss? That's right, Cool Cat Press said the same thing. In the October 10th, 1999 edition, it was a special titled, How to Silence a Woman by Kissing Her. Oh god. 1999 was wild. Hey, The Night Killer. Long-time follower, hope all is well. Yes, yeah, I'd say it's going pretty well. We're in for an interesting game. That's for sure. But thank you for being here. This fall, women are waiting for your kiss. Share an unbalanced kiss and fall in love. I don't think this works. Do whatever it takes to trick her into kissing you. He who dares wins. No, Cool Cat. No, that's bad. That is bad. Do whatever it takes to trick her into kissing you. No, that's... On away. Just for a bit. Just for a bit, okay? Huh? Just for a bit what? I grabbed a confused Serica and forced her down on the bed. No! No! Just for a bit. Really? Just for a bit. No, don't say that while pushing her on the bed. What the hell? He who dares wins. No! And they say kisses are magic. No! If I kissed Serica, maybe she'd fall in love with me. No! I wasn't sure if I wanted Serica to fall in love with me, but I really felt like I was just grabbing the first girl that was available, but I just really wanted to kiss someone, and it didn't matter who. No! Soy sauce, this is why I always skip delusions. Let me kiss you, Unaway. Yep, slapped. Felt a strong shock along my left cheek. My head shook. I was seeing stars. Good for you. Taku, you're creepy. Good for you. Her words stabbed like daggers into my heart. All the excitement I'd felt was washed away in an instant. No, Unaway, I can't believe you. You're disgusting. So what? You think since I'm nice enough to hang out with you, I'd be sure to let you kiss me? I like Serica. Hell no! I like Serica. Ooh, nice. Ow! Don't kick me, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're sorry. What is your problem? You are so fucking creepy. Die. Kill yourself right now. Bite right through your disgusting tongue and bleed to death, you piece of shit. Holy hell. Holy hell. Taku, why are you pale and shaking all of a sudden? No reason. Forcing her to the bed was basically a crime. Bad idea, yeah. I'm not like your average teenager who only thinks of the opposite sex. If my simulation with Serica went that badly, trying it with any other girl was sure to end me with me in handcuffs. Anyway, Taku, give me 500 yen. Huh? For what? Hush money? Wait. That was just a simulation. What are you talking about? 500 yen? Here. I forgot. Alright. So... so... We'll reload one last time. So we saw positive. We've seen negative. Let's quick load back to this. And let's see what not choosing either is. And then up to that point, I'll leave it up to you guys. Huh? Since they're being so polite, that's true, come to think of it. Why was it so polite anyway? Maybe they are? I mean, never mind that. What do you think? Well, I think it's really polite, but nobody's ever asked me out, so I don't know. Like, oh, romantic? Not really. That would depend on the person. What's going on here, Cool Cat? It would depend on the person asking a question. Of course it would. And then blank. Oh, right. I forgot. Serica stretched out her hand. Give me 5. Okay, so it basically extends the scene. So, there we go. So, yeah, we get to our delusions. So, Yeah, that's something. What's everybody feeling, I guess? Like, after that little exposure, I'm kind of curious. Like, do you guys just want to skip that sort of thing? Or is it something you're curious about and want to see? I am... Because, man, that just... that is something else. Feeling something I don't know. Well, this wasn't made by Nintendo, but it's really funny that Nintendo chose them to make the oh, I forget the name of the games all of a sudden. May depend on situation to situation. Okay. Karagosa, I have a few choice things to say about, after what you said about the Pokemon Presents. Kidding, I'm excited for the DLC and Sleep to a lesser extent. Okay. Then we come to Detective Club. That's what I meant, yeah. Anyway, give me 500 yen. Huh? Here, I forgot. And paper bag. I just ran into Gen. He gave me this. Said it was your usual. I paid him 500 yen for it. My usual? Yeah, that poll doesn't actually declare anything. The idea is like, do we want to go for it or whatever? We'll just take it time by time. Confused, I took the bag from her. Gen's usual changed every time I talked to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? That drunk old bastard? What's your usual? Nothing. Here, 500 yen. I forced 500 yen into her hands. Ignoring her persistent questions, I led her to the door. I'll see you at school tomorrow. Huh? Thanks for the pictures. They're a big help. Fine. Reluctantly, she left my room. Whew. Damn it. Sure, this is what I always bought from Gen, but the information in the last one was no good. What the heck was a cool cat anyway? A cold cat? Is it cold because it's dead? 100 ways to secretly show your sexy side. No. I needed to hide this too. But I had so many of them now, I was running out of room on the top shelf. Ah! When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it, no room, huh? What's this? Let's see. Karagosa, does this game have disturbing images or jump scares? It definitely has disturbing images, Karagosa, but I don't know about jump scares. It was an old scrapbook about the murders that occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I bought it from Gen too, come to think of it. I'd already scanned it, but I'd forgotten to throw out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have to bundle it up with the rest of my collection. My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it, I quickly ran over to my PC. Oh, there are some jump scares? Okay. Oh, good night, Gregster. I opened the files on the case that I'd been looking for. Seriously? My words were a whisper. I looked back at the scrapbook that compared it to the data on the PC. There was no doubt. I kept looking at it and it kept saying the same thing. But this, if my hypothesis was right, I'm sure even the police haven't noticed. Did I accidentally pushed R1, so hopefully I didn't... Okay. Whew! Okay, lately stickers with the face of a sumo wrestler on them have been appearing around Shibuya. Started seeing them on signs and guardrails all over Shibuya 5 or 6 years ago, so a lot of stickers. that are put up by graffiti artists. They're creepy. I wish someone would stop destroying the Shibuya landscape. No plans to remove the stickers. Always feel sick when I see that face. True debt. Okay. Yeah, it just seems like extra world building. I don't think it's anything major. At this point, only a few people were talking about the sumo wrestler stickers. Who could have known that these eerie stickers would mark the beginning of a world-changing event? Oh, no worries, Jaden Buck. And so this is a magazine article about the incident that occurred on the 7th. The 7th, the suicide that took place during a Nico Nia stream, right? I read that article. Hey, we actually see our protagonist. I mean, I thought we'd seen him before in the cover and whatnot. We don't know for sure that it was a suicide, though. People on the net are calling it the "Don't Look at Me" case. And here's the video of the broadcast. Yeah, there's your disturbing images. I saw that too. Wait, we saw it together. And here's the building it took place in. Onaway took some more photos for me yesterday. I know that too. And this is the inside of his room. Huh? No way, you took this? When? Wait, how? Until then, Ito had been disinterestedly pointing his camera at the colorful decorations in the hallway, but this got his attention. Of course it did. No one else had seen these pictures yet. Last weekend, you could see the room from the 5th floor of the karaoke place on the other side of the street. Seriously? Wow, that's dedication. Here, this is the 5th floor. Tired of solving murder, time to join the literature club. Yeah, please don't abuse the polls, please, mods. You could always count on him to be interested when it came to new information. So, what? You went in by yourself? Huh? I mean, you went to the karaoke place by yourself, for karaoke alone? I didn't have a choice, did I? It's not embarrassing, and I didn't sing, so it wasn't really karaoke. To be honest, I was a little embarrassed. The guy at the counter, who was probably just a part-timer, had stared at me suspiciously. Maybe I attracted his attention from coming in during the middle of the day in my uniform. And since I'd never been there before, he made me fill out membership paperwork. I didn't know how to do it, so it took a long time. And actually, I'd actually never been to a karaoke place before in my life. Translation's a little rough at points. Alright, I got these. Let's go to the next one. This is such a pain. We went over to the gym from the 2nd floor hallway. It was filled with students laughing over who knows what. The whole school was getting ready for the culture festival next week. This year's festival was supposed to be a big one. Heikiho Academy was the first private high school built as part of the restoration efforts, so it was attracting a lot of attention. Udagawacho Shibuya mid-sized academy composed of a middle school and high school with over 1,000 students in total. Took 3 years to complete, but the facilities are all brand new. Okay. Good enough. Oh, was Famicom Detective Club a success? That's good. I wasn't sure. One reason why everyone was so excited for the school fair was the school's lax rules, with lots of clubs and activities. But the biggest reason was the Shibuya Peace and Restoration Festival 2 months from now. 2 months from now, on November 9th, would mark 6 years since the Shibuya earthquake. The 5-year anniversary fair last year had affected the whole town. And since the school was in Shibuya too, it would include us. We were just a simple high school, but now our culture festival was being treated as a prelude to the big one, and supposedly there would be TV cameras filming the day of the event. Wow, aren't these costumes copyrighted? Can they get away with that? And wait, why are they wearing them now? Ito turned his camera towards a group of people pretending to be pro wrestlers. Ito and I were on the newspaper club, and it was our job to record the festivities. The principal had ordered that all clubs were to participate in the culture festival, and recording the festivities was our way of getting by without having to do much work. Smart. Recording video and taking photos was my hobby, and more than anything, it seemed like the way that would demand I burn the fewest calories. I couldn't see myself participating in any of the usual festival nonsense, like the baseball team's fried baseball ice cream stand. That sounds right. Yeah, sounds yummy. Which was probably just regular fried ice cream in a ball. I mean, still sounds yummy. Or the Pro Wrestling Research Club's mascot Pro Wrestling, or even the seance that the Mystery Club and Fortune Telling Club were putting on together. They probably just don't have anything better to do. Hey, don't pull my whiskers, you'll rip them off. Huh? Aren't those antennae? What do you think? If they were antennae, wouldn't they look cuter if you ripped them off? Huh? What? Do I really have to answer such a stupid question? Goddamn normals, go die in a fire. Jeez. So his friends like that too. Well, I guess their buddies like that. Jeez. Hey, don't make fun of normals. I'm a normal. Really? Are you, Takuru? I don't know about that. Huh? Hey, you idiot! The camera. He dropped it. That thing's expensive. Hey, what do you mean? You're hurting me. Wait, the camera. Did you betray me? Did you lose a level? When did you get a girlfriend? Huh? I don't have a girlfriend, but forget that. Pick up the camera. What? I slipped out of Ito's grasp and picked up the camera. Looks like it's safe. Good. I know Hentax is making fun of some camera brand, but I don't know it. I relaxed and handed the camera back to Ito. Sheesh, get a hold of yourself. We're not like them. We're right-siders, right? Want to give me a lecture? Want me to give you a lecture about it? Let me guess, just the opposite. On the right side of the digital information divide, right-sider has the necessary skills and environment to make use of information and communication technology, such as the internet, allowing them to quickly find, share, and receive high-quality information. Right. Listen, the term normal first came into use on the Japanese internet around 2005. It referred to someone whose daily life was fulfilling and satisfying. Originally, the term netizen existed as its antonym, but that distinction barely exists anymore. That's because the net is now an integral part of everyday life. When it first came into use, simply having friends was enough to qualify one as a normal, but gradually this requirement shifted into having a lover. But this too is changing. The modern definition of normal is now someone whose life is truly satisfying. That is, someone who's doing what they really want to do. In that sense, I'm a normal. Therefore, the people over there who are screwing around and wasting time aren't normals at all. You need to use words correctly. Oh god. Seriously, he needs to be careful. Just being a wrong-sider by itself is a sin these days. Really? I'm with you, Shinji, on that one. After I finished my lecture, I saw that Ito was staring at me wordlessly. What, did he not understand it? I walked him through the entire etymology. Miyashiro. What? You're not a normal. Let's use words correctly, okay? Huh? What? Why? Normals don't talk like that. Thank you, Shinji. Wait, why? And, you know, I've got acquaintances who are women. Of course, men too. I just told you, normals don't talk like that. But what's the reason? And may I also add, I quickly swallowed my words. I'm studying fashion too. I read the new issue of Cool Cat before I put it away. There was an article in it called Utsunomiya's fashion leader. This is like so old, buddy. This is not going to help you. I thought it looked pretty good. If I could wear that stuff, I'm sure. Yeah, no. What? Nothing. I'm telling you, I'm... Sure, whatever, man. Let's go. As he walked away, I turned my eyes towards the group of mascot pro wrestlers. It's just like a thing. Okay. Each protagonist in the series has an enormous character flaw that each story spends a slow burn depicting how flawed they are. Chaos Head as being a shut-in, Steins Gate as being able to take things seriously, Robotics Notes as apathy, and Chaos Child as being a narcissist. Great. Alright then, we'll all wear the same outfit. Oh, like Sentai Rangers. We can split the colors up. I'll be yellow. The audience would love it, but do we have the budget? We've got your allowance, right? Shove it. Or we could paint the colors onto our bodies. It just has to get laughs, right? I'm busy. Okay. Thanks for showing me that image again. I gotta say, just superfluously, I do like the design of the school uniforms in this. A lot of times they're not really all that appealing, but both sides look pretty good, I think. Welcome back, Master. Charon. It's not very cute, is it? Can we fix that? Don't say that it's not cute. And wait, it's not fair that only the girls are waitresses. The boys should be waitresses too. Did Gero Froggy really talk like that? Ito had just finished recording the goings-on in the classroom. Oh boy! Alright. It doesn't matter. What do you guys think? Positive or negative? Time Sage, fan service with a male character, positive. Let's go. All right, everybody's saying positive, so I'm gonna stick with it too. By the way, we're not going back. We're just sticking with these choices. Let's go positive. This was class 3-1. Ito's in my class, whatever. Most of the class was busy with the Gero Froggy Cafe we were doing for the festival. Some people were ignoring the fuss and studying. Some of the otaku were reading light novels. Did they really think that they left the paper cover from the bookstore on it? We couldn't tell it was a light novel? They were just trying their best to stay out of the way. Most people were happily making Gero Froggy decorations or putting on Gero Froggy costumes and messing around. All the clubs had to participate in the festival, but so did all the classes. No one had told me, but evidently several months ago we decided to do a Gero Froggy themed cafe. You dummy, Gero Froggy has a girl's voice. Well, sure, but it's just a culture festival. We're allowed to change it. That's wrong. Huh? Ito tilted his head in confusion. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, Miyashiro. Huh? You think you could try on this Gero Froggy costume, Charon? Oh boy. Sorry, we're busy. Oh, sure, I'll put it on. What? Hey, thanks, Miyashiro. When I made it, I kept thinking that you were the perfect size. Oh, God. I managed to get the costume on without much trouble. I slipped the top part over my head. It was pretty hot inside. And since I could barely see anything, it felt really claustrophobic. How do I look? Just perfect. Try saying something. I'm Gero Froggy. Gero? Wow, that's so cute. I'm going to give you a hug. And then I felt something soft press against my... Of course. You hug me too, Gero Froggy. Really? I slipped my arm around her like she asked me to. Oh no, don't touch my butt. You're such a pervert, Gero Froggy. What the hell? Hadn't I read something once about how you could hug all the girls you wanted if you put on a costume? Oh my god, this guy. At the time, I thought it was a bunch of crap. Did it really work? I was having the time of my life when... Oh, Gary Froggy's done? He's so cute. I want to hug him too. No fair, me too. Nope, Garo Froggy is mine. Hey, we're not seeing anything at least. We're only getting implications. Then why don't we all hug him at once? Boy, this is a fantasy. This is definitely a delusion. Oh, that's a great idea. Well, okay, I guess. It's okay, right, Garo Froggy? Here we go. 1, 2... Oh my god. I thought about telling Ito about this, but knowing what a skirt chaser he was, he might actually take it seriously and really try to put the costume on. From what I could tell, you're a skirt chaser too. That is a lot of fantasies, buddy. Someone in the GVG server described Takaru as a Redditor, and that was a perfect description. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much spot on. It was probably better not to tell him. I wouldn't want to see him sued for sexual harassment. Okay then. And decided to get back on topic. I took out my Pokecom and showed it to Ito. What the hell? So here's the images from the 19th of this month. So this is what happened to the girl. Wait, no, she's in a different outfit. This is a different outfit. This is not the same girl. Leaky noise, huh? Let me see. I haven't seen this one before. Where'd you get it? It showed up for an incident on an aggregator wiki. I scraped it before it got deleted. Process of saving a web page on the internet is data. A site that uses wiki software to compile information about a particular subject in an easy-to-read manner. Anytime the internet starts talking about something, you can be sure that people will start making a wiki for it. Wiki software is a system that allows for the creation of and editing of web-based hypertext using a browser. The name comes from the Hawaiian phrase wiki, which means speedy. I did not know that. Damn, Sage, my disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. I can't imagine there's a lot of guy fan service in this game. I gotta say, Time Sage. This one's got a nicer angle, right? Hey, let me up this to Nico Nia along with the stuff you took from the karaoke box. Why are we showing death pictures? Okay, what is up with Japan? Because we had Devil Survivor 2 where it's like, see how your friends die, and now it's just like, hey, here's casually a murder or a death. What is up with this? Oh. I've already upped it to the newspaper club's online storage. I know what that is. Make some adjustments so it's easier to see, then do what you want with it. Views have been kind of bad lately. The last video I upped got tagged with "Cameraman, do your damn job," and "This angle sucks." Ito looked really upset. Well, I knew how he felt. The Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club had been the first in the nation to upload a video version of the school paper to Nico Nia. Our paper has dealt with anything involving Shibuya. We'd done a special on the Shibuya restoration once that a local paper had written about. We'd won a special prize at the city journalism contest, and the video got over 80,000 views despite being boring as hell. After that, though, I could understand being upset at the fact that new videos dealing with goings-on in Shibuya weren't breaking 2 digits. Oh, I was the one who put that "Cameraman, do your damn job" I was the one who put that "Cameraman, do your damn job" tag on. That angle was crap, man. Ta-da! Got it! Ooh, and it's an original. I'm so tired. A boyfriend and girlfriend walked in, evidently back from shopping. Their arms were full of Garo Froggy stuffed animals. I told you that's wrong. Huh? What's wrong? Ito hadn't noticed then. I looked at my classmates, who were already beginning to play with their new toys, and said, I told you this before, right? You can tell your average teenager's information level by knowing what sites they go to. Oh god. This was a personal theory of mine. Smartphones and Pokecoms had become a religion to the modern teenager, and the information they gained from these portable terminals had a huge influence on their lives. The abbreviation of a name given to a series of pocket computers with 7-inch Full HD displays. The name Pocom is unique to Japan and has nothing to do with the so-called pocket computers that were sold in the 1980s. These computers began to become popular worldwide in 2012 and are expected someday to replace smartphones. Yeah, right. They come loaded with a number of different apps such as internet browser, email program, and a TV watching program, video games, microblogging apps, and a camera. And it said they'll soon be gaining the ability to make phone calls as well. Oh, so basically they're just tablets. All right. All right. Excuse me. Some people only looked at SNSs like Twitter, Rhine, and Facemook. What is... Okay, I gotta see what Rhine is. It's the messaging application that can be used on a smartphone. Oh, Line. Line, right. That's Japanese exclusive. Tweeter. 140 character length. Not anymore. I doubled that. Facebook. These names. Oh yeah, Facenook. That would have been better. Some looked at all of those as well as the links they found there. And then some looked at all those things as well as their favorite celebrity blogs, the big @Shan aggregators, and then whatever humor site was popular at the moment. All of these people were wrong-siders, of course. And the scary thing was that these days, 9 out of 10 wrong-siders were teenagers. Who cares? Garo Froggy launched 6 years ago with a cell phone strap that had gotten popular for reasons no one ever understood. And then lately a combination of Garo Froggy memes on Twitter, as well as an amateur anime posted to Nico Neo, if I remember right. It was a talking, dancing frog singing anime themes. That created a fad, though I hated to use the word for something so stupid. This guy's such a jackass. It amazed me that people honestly believed that the ribbit sounds made by the female actress in those videos were from the original. Or that the original was the stuffed animal that had come out recently and not the phone strap. My guess was that they only got their information from Twitter. And a man can't be a waitress, he's a waiter. That was one of the reasons I joined the newspaper club. I didn't want to end up like them. Anyway, Miyashiro? A girl, evidently the one in charge of the waitresses, was talking to me. Ugh. Who was she again? Fujita? Fujimoto? I think there was a Fuji. What is it, Tanaka? Tanaka. I was totally wrong. About the videos we're going to be playing in the classroom. What was she talking about? Oh, right. They were going to make their own version of the Nico Neo videos where they wore costumes and danced. Do you think we could use do some close-ups or something instead of just shooting from the same spot the whole time? Excuse me. Definitely going to have to make sure to have water for this one. I am going to be talking a lot. Oh, excuse me. What? Was she telling me what to do? I didn't volunteer to videotape it. You guys forced me. Well, it was better than being told to dance or make props myself. Oh, well... You see... You don't want to fix, you want us to move around? Fix? I don't know what you mean. Oh, we can do it. We can do close-ups or whatever. Really? Great. I'll write about how we want you to do it and give it to you before the shoot. And then she fled. That surprised me. Don't scare me like that. I was so nervous I was sweating a little. Ito was looking at me and sighing. You know, I just realized with the way the Game Grumps play visual novels and Aaron always does the same voice, that voice would work oddly well with this game. Like, I could see him being that way. Like, oh, of course, this is the way it would be. Ito was looking at me and sighing. What? No way are you a normal man. What? You freak out whenever you're talking to someone new. I can't help it. She came out of nowhere. And what's more, I made it a policy not to talk to anyone unless it was necessary. This was the first time in quite a while I'd spoken to any of my classmates but Ito. No wonder he has delusions. How'd it go? He was bragging about something, right? Fix or something. What? More technobabble? They'd already started to spread meaningless information. Stop it. Hearing whispers about me in the classroom brought back bad memories. I was starting to have a hard time breathing. Hey, you okay? It must have looked like I was in pain because Ito was looking at me with concern in his face. I quickly nodded to show that I was fine. If you want to talk about something behind someone's back, do it where they can't hear you. And it's not bragging, it's not technobabble. It doesn't bother me. Fujita is... Who's Fujita? Oh, Tanaka is just a wrong-sider. That's right. It wasn't worth worrying about. She was just ignorant. Ito looked over our other classmates who were having fun. Jeez, freaking opportunists. Opportunists? Uh-oh. What did that mean again? I knew I'd heard it before. I ran a search on my Pokecom, making sure not to let Ito see. Opportunists, one who takes advantage of any opportunity to achieve an end. That's right. I think that's exactly the right word. They'll all take any opportunity to bring you down. You've got that right. Ito nodded, annoyed. Good. Looks like he didn't find out. Do the otaku at the bottom of the school caste system always have to give the people above us something to talk about? Hold it. The school caste system wasn't something I cared about, but... Hey, I'm not an otaku. Not this again. What do you mean, again? I just don't like it when people are wrong. Do you want... No, I do not want a lecture. The definition of the word otaku is changing, and the negative connotations it originally had are disappearing, but... Even now, in 2015, it still mostly serves to denote those obsessed with an anime, light novels, video games, and idols. I thought I saw a boy reading a light novel turn toward me, but I didn't care. I don't watch stupid anime or read stupid light novels. It's a waste of time. Oh, this guy. Weren't you going on about how great some anime was? What was it? Bloodtoon? I said I don't watch anime that's stupid. It's no different than people who ignore quality movies like the two Veronica Sora and It's My Wonderful Life and just watch the same stuff over and over. The hell? A joint production between France and Poland, directed by Krzysztof Kieslowski, chronicles the lives of two girls, both named Veronica, who are born in two different countries. The scene on the bus is a must-see, a masterpiece. An American movie released in 1946, directed by Frank Capra, of course, depicts the life of a man and the strange miracle he encountered on Christmas. Wow, it's a wonderful life. Just by changing A to my. In America is the quintessential Christmas movie. The sense of excitement he gets when running through the city is unforgettable. A timeless classic. Okay, the two Veronicas has to be based on something. Okay, got that. And then they say anyone who hasn't seen this show is a casual. I get it. Original movie, do not still. Or people who lie about having read books like The Cities in Sequence or Winter's Garden and just read light novels all day. Winter's Garden, a novella published in 1992 by Kazumi Yuki, depicts the relationship between three 6th grade boys and a senior citizen who lives alone. Translated into different languages all over the world and turned into a movie and stage plays as well, a book you'd want to read when you're the same age as the young boys. Not sure what that's referencing. A hard sci-fi novel written by Greg Morgan in 1994 depicts a humanity that has begun to live in virtual reality and its thoughts on immortality. This seems that the theory proving grounds are a must-read. My best guess is Ready Player One, but I doubt that. The word otaku refers to people like that, who only bother to absorb information about subjects they enjoy. Camera otaku always seemed like a bunch of weirdos to me. Oh god, that is so true. As long as they're not bothering anyone, who cares? I'm a Johnny Otaku myself. Stop it, please. More than anything, I don't want to be the same as you people. This guy is so insufferable, my god. And then the door to the classroom flew open. Thank God he has a childhood friend, because otherwise, my god. A female student was looking in. Alright, positive or negative? All the information we have is that it's a female student. Early game Neku turned up to 1,000, right? And I felt like Neku at least was like, he was always internalizing that stuff. He was always like just thinking it, and being standoffish. Zodrex recommends negative. Chris Struck says positive. Rusty McTin says negative. Boost Helicopter says negative. Alright, I'm seeing more negative this time, so we'll go negative this time. Let's go negative. She must have been in a hurry because she was a little out of breath. She brushed her long hair out of her eyes and was about to come inside. No? What's up? Oh, Empress, perfect timing. The whole class started to talk to her. Oh, we got an actual character design. Hold on. She was about to say something when her foot caught on one of the cables running across the room. And she suddenly tripped. Okay, I'm worried because of what Soy Sauce said before, where it's all bad things. Like, she just busts her head open and dies. It's just that. Watch out! I moved quickly. She staggered forward, but I reached out my hand to keep her from falling. That's a noise. For some reason, I felt a powerful impact on the top of my skull as I slammed into the ground. My vision went black. I was about to pass out. What the heck just happened? Allow me to explain. When the Empress lost her balance, for some reason she decided to regain it by jumping. The momentum caused her body to twist in the air. As a result, she landed a perfect flying roundhouse kick to Miyashiro's head. Right now, this guy's friends are way better than him. Miyashiro loses the bout by TKO. Okay then. Oh my god. So, I have a feeling if we have a girl tripping and falling, we were likely going to get an oops, you fell on my face type thing. You know that would have been it. Given that was just one possibility, I probably shouldn't do anything. She almost tripped, but managed to keep her balance. You know they probably did that. She smiled a bit and took a deep breath. All the students around her, boys and girls alike, began to move. They surrounded her as if they were welcoming a long-lost family member. Hey, who put this cable here? That's dangerous. No, I'm so sorry. Empress, you okay? Yeah, don't worry about me. She answered them with a smile. Soy Sauce, if I remember correctly, they did do that. Yeah, that is such a trope. That is a total anime trope. Of course they would do something like that. I felt like our eyes met. I looked away without thinking. Nono Kurisu, the first student council president of Heikiho Academy. Hey, so for our cafe, we've got the kitchen and then the other part, what do you call it? Where the customer sits? Kurisu smiled a little as she spoke. You mean the hall? Yeah, the hall. Did Mr. Wacky adjust the number of curtains we've got to partition the two? Adjust? Did Master Wakui said he was going to do that, Ms. Masuda? Huh? You hadn't heard? Nope, which means he definitely didn't do it. Fine, I'll talk to him. You sure? The teachers seem to have their eye on you, Empress. Actually, they seem scared of you. The student council president's job is to make the teachers' lives difficult for the benefit of the students. Don't worry, I'll use what little power I've got. Oh, and Masuda, stop calling me Empress. Thanks, Empress. Now listen, you. She does not look like the typical student council president look. She looks too... They usually get depicted as very harsh. Let's see. Most of the boys in the class called Kurisu Empress as a joke. She'd gotten the name after becoming a hero to her fellow students through gallant deeds like putting an end to the principal's endless homeroom speeches. Not to mention bringing more types of bread to the school store. Thanks for the costume, Nono. It was a perfect fit. Tanaka, when I wore that, I couldn't get the zipper all the way up. Oh, should I have kept my mouth shut? I can stop you guys from doing any advertising, you know. I'm sorry, it was a joke. You're just fine. I mean it. And wait, it probably got stuck on your breasts anyway, didn't it? Of course. It was a joke. I'm counting on you, okay? Get lots of laughs. Just a little bit higher and she could do the Evangelion pose. Soy Sauce says the anime adaptation, beyond cutting a bunch of scenes and plot points, actually removes most of Takaru's elitism. It's one of the reasons why the adaptation missed the mark, as it's the foundation of this game's narrative. Oh, okay. Ironic, considering what he was talking about with that anime adaptation he was complaining about. She sure was popular. She even knew the names of students in other classes. The top of the school caste system. That was the first phrase that came to mind. And then... Takaru, we need to talk. Can you come with me? Kurisu walked all the way over to me and Ito. Her expression was so kind, it seemed like she had to be putting on some kind of act. I could see that all the people who had been surrounding her were staring at me. What does the Empress want with the camera kids? Are they friends? What? You didn't know? Nono is... Huh? Seriously? Is what? I ignored my classmates' whispers and focused on Kurisu. Her smile seemed fake, as it had been plastered onto her face. As if it had been plastered onto her face. Whenever she smiled like that, it meant she wasn't in a good mood. Oh jeez. Sorry, I can't now. I just figured out something about the case and I'm putting it together. The student council's really busy with the culture festival right now, right? So once it's calmed down, Kurisu... Her cheeks twitched a little. Crap. Kurisu didn't like it when I called her by her last name. Can you come with me to the club room really quick? I could sense a dark aura forming around her, hardly befitting a so-called empress. Can you? She was so close to me. Let's go to the club room. That cool with you, Miyashiro? Ito couldn't handle the terror. Wow, okay. It didn't look like I could talk my way out of this one. Seeing no other choice, I nodded and stood up. Wow. Oh, another character. Gah. Kurisu, you got a second? Is this about the portable stoves for all the food stalls on the field? We decided that every stall gets one. Excuse me. Huh? But that's... okay. Sorry, no exceptions. I spoke to the principal, but I couldn't get him to change his mind. If any of the bigger groups are still upset, I'll go talk to them myself. Okay, I gotta say, as far as visual novels go, I like this perspective. We don't really see the back of characters' heads as they're talking to other people. Usually it has both characters looking at you, at the player, the entire time. So having this sense right now, that's actually really impressive for a visual novel. Roger. I mean, wait, why aren't you where you're supposed to be? Kurisu, I told you that if you're busy, we can do this later. Oh, Kurisu, I told you that if you're busy, we can do this later. Sorry, wrong intonation. I'm done. Sorry, Kawahara. I'm in a hurry right now. Her tone was gentle, but brooked no argument. As she went to hurry to the club room. Oh boy. Miyashiro, you again? What did you do this time? Alright. Soy sauce is saying positive. This could be Time Sage's fan service. Alright, I'm seeing mostly positive here. Kawahara cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council. No, you don't need to tell me. You were pretending to be a reporter again, right? Or was it a detective? I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurisu was spending time with me. It's not, what? It's not any of your business, I think. It is my business. When you take up Kurisu's time, you cause trouble for me and the rest of the student council. Alright, let's see what's positive. I happened to glance down at Kawahara's belt. Oh, we are gonna get fan service. The fastener seemed to be broken. Oh no, my pants, they're slipping off. Oh no. I would like to check out the Famicom Detective Club remix at some point. That gave me an idea. Oh my god. Or we're just going to assault him and yank down his pants. Okay, we'll just pants him. Either way, those pants are coming down. Just like I thought, they came straight off. His underwear was plainly visible. White briefs. Oh my god. Miyashiro, what was that for? For being annoying. Man, this is a delusion. Screw you. Kawahara, just put your pants on. That's disgusting. Disgusting, but... Come on, everyone's staring. I mean, you think the first thing he would do is pull his pants back up. All the students around us were staring at him and laughing. His face quickly turned red. Ah, you're such a jerk. A mean jerk. He pulled up his pants and ran away with tears in his eyes. Man, they are total delusions. Oh, Amy's here. Oh boy. So, Amy, for heads up, we started with a guy getting a very disturbing murder or situation that started things out with. Then we got implications of something else going on that's happening. And now we're in school situations where the guy can have positive or negative delusions. And because he is extremely narcissistic and antisocial. So that's our character. But we can have these delusions where good things happen or bad things happen, or we can skip by him completely. But I'm curious how it all comes together. So right now he just had a fantasy about pantsing a guy that was giving him a hassle. He looked absolutely miserable. So yeah, Amy, I don't know if this is yours. This is for you. But right now we're okay. I don't think we're going to see any disturbing images anytime soon. What's the worst positive we've gotten? We had an admittance of love, and we just got this pantsing this guy. The only other option we had was a negative where we got kicked in the head. So... Just in imagining that made me feel better. I'd never do something so childish in real life, though. Yanking down someone's pants if they ticked you off was the kind of thing a third grader would do. I was above that, but not above fantasizing it. I knew that the best way to deal with someone like Kawahara was to just ignore them. So I heard you skipped most of the elementary and middle school. Is that true? I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurisu. She quickly shook her head no. Kawahara, I'm really in a hurry right now. but he kept staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turned away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the club room. So it didn't fully show it, but we had a guy mutilate himself without realizing it, Amy. And the most graphic we saw was there was a lot of implications towards it. But the most we saw was the guy kind of bleeding out of his eyes and whatnot. So yeah. Later, Oscar. So yeah, hopefully that won't come up, but we'll see. It wasn't me, okay? The second the three of us were alone in the club room, her expression changed. The smile plastered on the student council's president's face disappeared. This was who she really was. What wasn't? What Karahara was saying. I didn't tell him, okay? It didn't bother me. You're lying. Really, it didn't. Liar. Everything about me was different than it used to be. So what is it? Did you want to talk about something, Miss Vice President of the newspaper club? Oh, she's in the newspaper club. Kurisu sighed and changed the subject. Takaru, are you eating right? You look like you've lost weight. Huh? Where is this coming from? It's going to start getting colder soon, you know? Can you keep warm in the place you're living in? Ugh. Crap, she was in nag mode. Oh yeah, Karagosa got top 50% this time in Big Run. Congrats on that. I actually got a text from Amy's daughter, who was very excited that she got in the top 50% as well. She was super excited by that. And I heard you told the teachers you were going to get a job after graduation. I told you to say you were going to college. It's not like you aren't smart enough. I know it's going to be hard for you to start now, but I've told you before that I can help. Did you go asking the teachers? And wait, is that what you wanted to talk about? Well, are you eating right? I'm eating just fine. Everything's just fine. I waved my hand to bring the conversation to a close. I didn't want this to end the way it used to, with a 6-hour lecture about how every aspect of my life was wrong, followed by hard labor as my punishment. Kurisu looked like she still had a lot more to say, but a moment later... You skipped school last Friday, didn't you? Huh? Oh, so that was what this was all about. Yeah, I did. Is that a problem? Of course it's a problem. Where were you? You were taking those photos you upped to the storage folder, weren't you? Damn it, I figured that would be it. She was right. The pictures I'd taken from the karaoke box were from last Friday when I'd skipped school. I started staking out the place early that morning and waited for the manager of the condo building to open the curtains. It was a lot of work, but I was able to get photos of the scene that nobody else has, except the police. I've told you before that you need to stop spending all your time on this stuff. Oh, later, Amy. Kurisu was the vice president of the newspaper club and had been opposed to Ito's and my journalistic ethos for a long time. We'd spent most of our time investigating crimes in Shibuya. Stuff like the attacks on the homeless people that had been flooding the city ever since the earthquake. And urban legends about a company involved in the rebuilding who'd put tons of security cameras all around the city. And a serial arson case where the culprit had never been caught. And now these strange deaths. For her part, Kurisu said that a student paper shouldn't be investigating crimes. She wrote normal, sincere articles and made normal, sincere videos. The video about the Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize had been mostly her work. Takaru, you're acting really strange this time. You've never skipped school to do this stuff before, have you? That was true. Kobama, yes, this game is rated M. That's why I have a pinned comment to let people know. I might just make it part of the title from after this point, just so people are aware. We've played M-rated games before, but this seems to go a little step beyond. But the reason why was obvious, right? I was lucky enough to have this huge mystery right in front of me. This is worth skipping school for. Why? Because it's the first big thing that's happened to in Shibuya since we started the newspaper club. This is a huge scoop. Scoop? That face was bad news. It was scary. Ito was right next to me, so I grabbed him and held him tight. Hey, don't use me as a shield. Wait, am I a shield? And why is her face so scary? A huge scoop. People are dead, and to you, it's just a huge scoop. No, I'm sorry. Stay away from me. I really can't handle this. Don't push me. Wait, are you really using me as a shield? Oh crap, oh crap. That face was seriously bad news. The Empress was scary enough that she could send a demon running in terror. I'd never even met a demon either. That's just how scary she was. Care to repeat that? Want to tell me again how all these deaths are just a huge scoop for you? Oh shit. I needed to find some way to stop her. And then I felt the wind rush by my ears. Huh? Oh, no. No, no! No, no! Oh, this wasn't even a positive. Why? I was expecting a scene So, what I was expecting in this point, since we already got kicked in the head by her once, was there's that scene, there's those moments in Dragon Quest XI where you can say no. You'll always be forced to say yes eventually, but you can say no and see all the funny things that happen when you say no. And one of them, when you refuse to help somebody, when you're talking to Jade, she actually does this thing where she goes acts like she's going to kick you in the head and then stops right before that. And then she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Will you say I was just stretching my leg?" And then I thought that's what this was going to be. But no, we had to have wind. It's one of the very few scenes that are fan servicey without positive delusions, and I hate it with every fiber of my being. Right? Kurisu didn't even have time to hold down her skirt. Who let that window open? Okay, here comes my serve. I've got it. My eyes were locked with Kurisu's as I heard the sounds from the open window. I hadn't even realized it was open until then. There was a tennis court on top of the special use building. That was probably the tennis team out there. Okay. I needed to say something. Was I supposed to tell her I hadn't seen anything? Vice President? Wait, white, huh? I guess that's just what I'd expect. Oh, Shinji, don't make me not like you. Idiot, are you trying to get yourself killed? Does it really matter what color my underwear is right now, asshole? Okay, I really like the girls in this game so far because if things piss them off, they will let you know and beat the hell out of you. So I appreciate that. I flinched at the sudden noise. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then I realized. I was sure that was the sound of Kurisu kicking the wall or maybe of her murdering Ito, but I was wrong. It was coming from deeper inside the room. That girl, sheesh. Oh, time for another random character. Oh, she's playing EverQuest, looks like. That looks like EverQuest to me. Kazuki, are you here? Kazuki? Oh, she's got her headphones on. Kurisu sighed and pulled off the headphones that Kazuki always wore. Ah, it's EverQuest Online too. I've told you before to stop hitting the wall every time something goes wrong in ESO2. Well, we gotta get a thing on that. Yeah, he's being depicted as always being online. So, Empire Sweeper Online 2, the sequel to what was once Japan's largest online MMORPG. Empire Sweeper Online. Yeah, EverQuest Online. Like its predecessor, it was well received. While the vast majority of users have moved on to ESO2, the inability to transfer character data from the first game has caused a small number of veteran users to stay with ESO1. The game is it takes place in the fantasy world of Basilard, which is modeled after medieval Europe. Who knew? EverQuest. Look, you're making a dent. Hana Kazuki, the only first-year student in the newspaper club. But forget her, this was my chance. As Kurisu was rubbing the red marks on Kazuki's hands, I said, anyway, I'm going to keep following this case. I found a clue, and it might be a big one. Kurisu glared at me for a moment, but... Wow, really? Okay, I'll get ready right away. Tell me all about it. I can't wait. Ito hurried over to the club's computer, desperate for any chance to escape his doom. I stared back at Kurisu for a moment and then boot up the computer and print out the images in the storage folder. Roger. Ito's voice was louder than it needed to be as he turned on the computer. No more punching the wall, okay? She's very talkative. Maybe she took pity on poor Ito because she didn't say anything else, but she still crossed her arms and glared at us as she leaned against the wall. She was at least going to hear me out, it looked like. Or maybe this was just her way of making sure I didn't escape. Boy, that scene with the wind really didn't need to happen. You owe me lunch later. Why? I don't want to. For using me as a goddamn shield. That was 100% your fault to begin with. I'm sorry, but you were lucky. She didn't get violent. Huh? Violent? The vice president? I nodded. Kurisu was the girl that everyone looked up to, but she was actually very short-tempered. It would take me more than 5 fingers, but less than 10, to count the number of times she'd slap me hard. Wow. When I told him that... Are you serious? I mean, really? Are there really teenage girls that do that stuff? That's one step short of hiss or an esco. A what? The hell? Oh, a sadist. Short for hysteric. Usually a term in psychology is for a short-tempered person. Okay. I remember I first learned about sadism and masochism from Tenchi Muyo when Ryoko was getting tortured by Ayaka. That's a classic. I love Tenchi Muyo. Has no one ever told you that if you want to talk behind someone's back, you should do it where they can't hear you? Call back. The almost hiss didn't even bother looking at us as she spoke. No, we just said that to someone, though, in the classroom. Huh. I see. And then she fell silent. She was scary as hell. It felt like if I moved, she'd kill me. You're buying. It's settled. Supersized and with dessert, too. No objections. That was 50% your fault. Actually, it was 100% Ito's fault for not keeping his mouth shut. Hey. What? Did you see it? You saw it, right? I didn't. Really? Just a close-up of it at this point. Oh, Brosvotics, you were an Ayaka kid? Oh no, I was Ryoko all the way. That was a lie. I'd seen it. They were white. Brighter than the sun. Guess. I glanced at Kurisu out of the corner of my eye. I guess that really was just what you'd expect. Still, I'd only gotten a glimpse. It was entirely possible I'd been mistaken. If I burned the image into my brain now, maybe the next time something like this happened, I'd be able to react more quickly. Oh my god. So I prayed for more good luck. If it ever did happen again, I swore I would react as a right-sider should. A right-sider wouldn't panic over something as insignificant as seeing a girl's underwear. In a situation like that, it was critical that you stay calm. When she heard Ito turn on the printer, Kazuki trotted over like she usually did. Okay, I have no idea how this'll go. Time stage, I'm very much not the target audience for this game. Chaos undies, oh god. Alright, positive or negative? What are we in for? Base says positive, Jaden says positive. Everybody's going positive. Alright. Whenever she was around, it was her job to run searches and organize the information on the PC, but... Kazuki, we don't need you for this. I don't consider this part of our club activities. Kazuki gave us a questioning look. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kazuki just said, like she always did, and walked away. Okay, bye. See, Kazuki? Your hand's still red. I'll rub it some more for you. What in the hell are these delusions? Kazuki obediently walked toward Kurisu. Kurisu took her hands and rubbed them gently like a mother would. That must have hurt, right? Why would you do something like that? Oh my god. Well, does it still hurt? Pain, go away. Yeah, Kazuki, what's wrong? Why did you just hug me like that? Oh my god. Oh yeah, they definitely have the Yuri flowers out there. Oh my god. This voice actor had a really easy time with Kazuki. Ah, you're such a spoiled little girl. Were you lonely because I haven't been able to come to club for a while? I am Groot. Doesn't tell me anything. Look in my eyes and answer me, okay? I am Groot. You must have been lonely, right? You're blushing. It's so cute. I'm just going to say I'm Groot every time I see that at this point. I'm sorry for making you lonely, but don't worry. I'll stay with you for the whole time today. I am Groot. I'm happy. I'm happy I get to be with you too. Does your hand still hurt? It does? Then I'll use my oh my god. Oh, okay, kiss. Thank god. Kazuki watched with a look of ecstasy in her eyes as Kurisu softly kissed her fingers. It felt like I was seeing something I shouldn't, so I looked away. Your fingers are so thin and pretty, Kazuki. I am Groot. Hey, why are you spacing out? What the hell? Oh my god. Soy sauce, I hate this immensely. Ally MC. Sure, we'll go with that. No, nothing. I chased a stupid idea out of my mind. Kurisu was nice to everyone, even girls like Kazuki, who couldn't communicate with others. Of course, in reality, Kurisu and Kazuki had never done anything like that, and they never would. Yeah! Kazuki put her headphones on and went back to the corner of the room. She started slamming keys again. I never did know how to talk to her. Actually, it felt like it had been forever since I'd even spoken to her. If you could call this a conversation, that is. She'd been a part of the newspaper club for 6 months, and all I knew about her was that she liked games, knew a lot about computers, and hated talking. In the end, Ito printed out the pictures, and I took them and went in front of the bulletin board before Kurisu changed her mind. If Kurisu was going to listen, it was probably better to start at the beginning. Okay, we're going to get a breakdown of all this crazy crap happening, at least. She didn't seem interested in the cases, but if I ignored her and it made her even madder, even using Ito as a shield wouldn't be enough to save me. There are 2 cases we're looking at right now. The first occurred on the 7th of this month during a Nico Neo livestream. It was a public suicide called the Don't Look at Me case. It happened here, in Jinan. Just like you probably guessed, a man killed himself without warning during a Nico Neo livestream. Strictly speaking, we don't know for sure that it's a suicide, but it sure looks like one. The dead man's name is Yuma Otani, age 21. He was a live streamer who got quite a lot of views with some kind of fortune-telling program called Till, I Can See the Future. So here's how it went down. First, Utani gave the audience some time to ask questions. He left the camera's field of view. After that, there was the sound of someone knocking at the door. It was faint, but the mic picked it up. There's also some voices, but you can't make them out. When he came back in front of the camera, half of his right arm was missing. It was chopped up into tiny bits and sitting on top of the plate he was carrying. Then he started eating his own fingers like he wasn't feeling any pain at all. Kurisu's expression changed a little. She probably hadn't known that. The suicide had been big news, even on TV, so she'd probably seen it there, but the details had been so horrific that the news hadn't broadcast them. But those details could be found anywhere on the internet. It was only a matter of time before someone started putting it all together. Oh man, Zodrex, I was kind of the same. I'm like, my God, it went so intense right off the bat. Real sense of foreboding until we got to this insanity. The video itself had even started to get around. Then, after a moment, he started to scream in pain. Pedro, thank you very much for the gift sub going to Shadow Mape. Very much appreciated. And then he died. Evidently, the viewers thought it was some kind of gag or something at first. Hypovolemic shock. When the body loses too much blood, the heart stops working properly. That's what it said in the police report, and given the time until he collapsed, it's almost certainly right. Ito added, Ito knew more about this stuff than I did. Oh, okay, that was what Ito... I missed that it was Ito saying that stuff. That's why positive delusions are a major flaw in this game, even if they're optional. It cuts away a lot of the tension and horror if you choose them. We'll see what people think after this first example and see if we want to keep going with those or just skip them entirely. I don't know. He was a fan of bizarre murders, and he'd read 10 times as many killers' diaries and non-fiction crime books as I had. The most likely theory is that he experienced some kind of mental disorder before the suicide, but the police are supposedly looking for whoever visited the room first. They might be responsible for aiding or abetting a suicide. In Japan, if you saw someone trying to kill themselves and didn't intervene, it wasn't a crime unless the police could prove you wanted them to die. But aiding in a suicide or encouraging someone to commit suicide was illegal. That's the point. It makes it less tense. Yeah, I don't know. That meant the police were probably looking for whoever met Utani just before his death. Kurisu was silent, but she was looking at the board and seemed to be listening. It seems safe. On to the next case. Okay, we don't know much about this one. Second, the case that occurred on the 19th. It gets its name, leaky noise, from the condition the body was found in. It happened here, in Shinsen. The girl's name was Momone Take... Okay, it was her. Then what was with the girl walking in that was completely covered? Huh. The girl's name was Momone Takenagi, age 20. She was a sangich singer on Nikoniya. She'd been getting really famous online singing anime theme songs. Rusty says, I'd skip it if I was playing on my own, but seeing Derek's reactions are pretty funny. Girl walking was probably the one that knocked, you think, Jacob? It's possible. She was going to sing at the Restoration Festival, too. Every sunny day, she'd always go to the same place, at the same time, and put on the performance in her fancy band costume. That day, she started her concert pretty late. But something was wrong. Her voice was small, and it didn't sound like she usually did. And then, in the middle of the concert, she died. Blood loss here, too. She'd been stabbed in the stomach before she'd started the concert. Oh, God. What's strange was the condition the body was found in. Ito, play the video. Alright, heads up on this one if they actually show this stuff. I'm not sure. Sure thing. Ito tapped a few keys on the computer's keyboard. And a moment later... Is this really happening? She's dead! She's really dead! Call an ambulance! Kurisu looked confused when she heard the sound. Evidently, she wasn't able to make it out. Oh, not that one. The one Shibuya News upped with the enhanced audio. Oh, that one. Yeah, Is this really happening? She's dead. She's really dead. Call an ambulance. Thanks. Take it easy. Thanks. Take it easy. Thanks. Take it easy. Oh yeah, iTunes. Her expression changed. She must have been able to hear it this time. Thanks. Take it easy. According to the regulars, that's how she would begin every performance. A phrase often used at the start of videos in Nikoniya. The phrase itself was originally part of ASCII heart. She's a Nikoniya user after all. Lately, people have been saying she's the best sangit singer around. I wonder if she had that cassette that she was talking about having a small speaker on her. Maybe that was what was making the sound. Kurisu seemed to be ignoring me and Ito. She was staring at the computer screen, and that was the source of the sound. What was that? The screams are from the audience members who discovered the bodies. One of them was recording a video, and that last part was in Takayanagi's voice. It was from a miniature speaker embedded in her stomach. Right, there we go. Wait, embedded in the stomach? What the hell? Kurisu seemed confused, so Ito interjected. In other words, the whole concert that day had been pre-recorded. Evidence found later indicated that she'd slit open her own stomach with a utility knife she got at a convenience store, then stuck a Bluetooth speaker inside. What the hell? She closed the wound with duct tape, not that it actually did much good. Then she used her clothes and the outfit to hide the wound and started her performance. At first, she played the guitar along with the sound of her recorded voice, but after a while, she stopped playing. That was when she leaned forward and didn't get back up, so she was probably already dead then, but while the audience thought it was strange, they kept listening. Either the blood from her wounds broke the portable music player in her pocket, or maybe it was supposed to be this way from the start. But until that same line you just heard played over and over, no one realized she was dead. Okay, I gotta say, there's some fascinating murder mysteries in this one. They have some way of, like, whoever's doing this has some way of negating pain in people and getting them to do very strange things to themselves. Kurisu's face was a mixture of confusion and discomfort. Of course it was. She'd never heard of something like this. I couldn't hold back my excitement. Huh? Amazing, right? Yeah, that's a little... okay. Instead of agreeing, Kurisu's brow furrowed. She probably didn't realize it, but she wrapped her arms around herself. What was wrong? Was that a little too creepy? Yes! Most just get butterflies in their stomachs, oh god. And? All we've done so far is go over what we know. What's your discovery? Oh yeah, he was right. I used a computer to print out a series of pictures. Obviously, we don't know what the motive behind these two killings are. The one suspect we've got is whoever visited Utani's room, and we don't know who they are, what they wanted, or what they were talking about. But I think there's more of this to come. It's only a guess, though, based off of something the victims have in common. Huh? Seriously? Ito leapt out of his chair in shock. Well, I couldn't blame him. We spent forever going over things they could have had in common. All we came up with was that they both lived in Shibuya and that they both used Nikoniya. The only other things that they were both semi-famous and they both died in a bizarre way. But that didn't tell us anything we didn't already know, did it? So you didn't see the other thing they had in common? I pointed towards the bulletin board as I spoke. Ito looked really annoyed. Damn it, you arrogant asshole. What's up with that thing you're printing out anyway? One of the best parts of finding something like this was seeing the angry look on his face. Well, it was only yesterday that I'd found it myself, though. Relax. What did you find? Kurisu beckoned for me to go on. No matter what she said, after hearing all this, she probably wanted to know what came next. Yeah, 0 charisma, right? Oh, it was done printing. Kazuki suddenly stood in front of me. I am Groot. She offered me the printed images without a word. Thanks. I am Groot. Then she offered me something else. Oh, lollipop. Are you giving me this? She nodded. Thanks. I'm cosplaying as Sanji in the 4Kids dub of One Piece. Kazuki seemed to be communicating in her own unique way. She walked over to the bulletin board and tapped the data printouts on the 2 cases with her finger. Kazuki, what's wrong? She did it again. I saw the part she was pointing at and nodded. That's right, the dates, the 7th and the 19th. That's what they have in common. Strange deaths on September 7th and September 19th. Ring a bell? I kept looking at Ito. Usually he would be the one to pick up on this. A second later, oh, he froze. He must have figured it out. Yep, with your love of weird murders, you know what I'm talking about. I pinned the images I just printed out onto the bulletin board's map. September 7th, the group dive. What the heck? September 19th, the pregnant man. What? We got some even weirder frickin' murders going on. September 29th, crucified. October 10th, the vampire. Well, that just looks like Travis Touchdown had a bad day. October 23rd, brain dead. October 28th, delicious hand. November 4th, the DQN puzzle. I'm guessing, I was going to ask Soy Sauce, these were all the murders that occurred in Chaos Head 6 years prior. I was going to say, this is probably from the prequel, these murders. The DQN puzzle. I think that's just from Persona 4. The New Generation Madness. The name of a series of brutal serial killings that took place in Shibuya between September 7th and November 4th. In all, 14 people were killed across 7 incidents. The name New Generation Madness was created by the media at the time in reference both to the bizarre nature of the killings and the way the youth of Shibuya seemed to welcome and enjoy them. Sheesh. Yep. 6 years ago, in 2009, a series of strange deaths had occurred just before the earthquake that struck Shibuya on November 6th. They became famous for the words that left at the scene of every crime. Those eyes. Whose eyes? They called the killings the New Generation Madness. The murders took place in Shibuya, but the whole country took an interest in them. At the time, I was in 6th grade, and just like a lot of people, I followed every new development on the internet. The dates match up exactly with the dates of the murders 6 years ago. They may be set up to look like suicides, but they're every bit as weird as the old killings. It's a coincidence. She seemed to be trying to force the words out of her throat. Kurisu was acting a little strange. Her arms clutched her torso even tighter. Geez, I wonder if you even solve it in Chaos Head with the way they're not even like, oh yeah, we figured this out. Yep, seems like it, Jacob. Darth Chrono, besides Head and Child, are there more games to this? Apparently Steins Gate, Steins Gate Zero, and Robotics Notes. Vice President? Maybe it was because of all the creepy pictures she's seen. Kurisu was clearly shaking. She tried her best to stop it as she spoke. Stop trying to connect every little event. It's just a coincidence that they line up. We'll know for sure soon. The third New Generation Madness took place on September 29th. In other words, today. Creepy. If something weird happens in Shibuya again, we'll know for sure. If a coincidence happens 3 times, it's not a coincidence anymore. A phone rang. It was mine. Yes? Hell... There's been a murder! Or maybe an accident. Anyway, I think what you said might have happened. I could feel my heart starting to race as she spoke. Alright. So... obviously, we're out of time, but I feel like that's a pretty good place to stop. We got our setup, we got our characters, we have our connection to explain to what the heck actually happened at the beginning. So we're gonna go ahead and save. And I am definitely intrigued by what the heck is going on. Tone is a little bit all over the place thanks to those positive and negative delusions, but we'll see. We'll see how it all goes as time goes on and whether we want to say. So yeah, this is I'm curious. I'm very curious, and I will say it helps that the mysteries are so weird. I think that's what really has me hooked. Because when he got into that, I'm like, man, we're into a lot of school stuff. But when he got into the explanation of the murders, yeah, that was wild. So yeah, let's take a look at. Hopefully, if all of you enjoyed that as well, and we'll keep coming back into this. Let's see. We got a request to raid Space Padre from Sonic Joe, but any other requests? Just compare. So, so yeah, Jason, this is definitely one where you're definitely going to want to watch from the beginning if you want to keep up with what's going on, because geez, it is entirely story based. I'm not seeing an RL Richie, or maybe it's RI Richie. No, I'm not seeing it. Boost Gear Helicopter. Love it for just how stupid it all is. I mean, sometimes that happens. All right, we'll just go with Space Padre for now. Playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. What a tonal shift of a game. I'm not going to do any kind of weird oh, it's Josh Keaton. Okay. Cool. What'd be a good raid message? Definitely something not I don't know about, like I said, I don't want to go like this is what our weird thing is that we're doing. Everybody's clinging to chaotic start apparently. All right, sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with chaotic start. All right. But yeah, we are off to a new play. This is anywhere between 30 and 40 hours. So roughly about 10 sessions, although it might be a little bit longer because we're reading everything out. So it's not as quick as just reading it through yourself. So we'll see how it all takes form. But yeah, we'll see how it all goes. Of course, tomorrow we'll be streaming again with more Gravity Rush to finish that game off, as we'll be doing the DLC featuring Raven, seeing what happened with her in between the first and second game. And then after that, we'll be into another playthrough where we'll be playing through Outer Wilds. So see what that game's all about. Because again, I'm in the dark there. But that should be a lot shorter than Gravity Rush. And after that, we'll get to Wario World and all that stuff. So going to definitely have some differences between our short and long games as far as tones. So yeah. Anyway, though, that's what we have looking forward to that. Coming forward. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to head and start this raid. And hope you all just have a wonderful week. And we'll see you all very soon. And White Wolf, thank you very much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. Oh boy. Well, thank you all so much once again. And until next time, bye.